If you have been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I do have quite a few series that I haven't done for a very long time. And to let you in on a little secret, I'm not going to be reviving any of those. Except for this one, the horror prompt series. I'm not going to give this one up. And today's video is this. Now this is a book by Zella Bond, and if you want to get your own copies to do your own sort of prompts to do with horror, I will have a link down in the description below. It's an affiliate link, so I do get some commission from it. So I think we're up to like number 20 now with the prompts. And if you don't know what's actually happening in this series, just have a look at the playlist, which will be in one of these corners. I don't know my right from my left at the moment. But today's prompt is Voodoo Doll. And this one's very interesting because when I sort of went for a bit of a dive into the Voodoo Doll, it's actually not what you think. And there is a lot of information in regards to the history of the Voodoo Doll. And today's video, I'm just going to keep it very simple. It's very convoluted and very involved. Now, if you want to do your own research on the Voodoo Doll, if you're interested, go ahead, knock yourself out, but I'm keeping it very, very light and very, very simple. And my channel's name, as you know, is Cutest Voodoo, and basically it's combining cute things. I love cute things with creepy stuff. So I took the Voodoo name from the Voodoo Dolls and the stigma about voodoo, which is, like I said, not what you think, and I combined those two names to create the channel name that I have. So I like creepy shit and cute shit. And that's what I did. That's why I've combined it. So hopefully you'll enjoy this Thursday video, and let's delve into the history of the Voodoo Doll. What we all have been led to believe about the Voodoo Doll is that they were designed by voodoo witch doctors to inflict pain and suffering onto a victim through this doll. Usually a personal belonging or hair sample from that person gets weaved into the doll, a spell or ritual is performed, the doll is attached spiritually to the victim, and the voodoo witch controls the doll that controls the victim, and whatever happens to that doll, the victim will feel it on their end. For example, the classic sticking pins and needles into, say, the leg of the doll, and the victim will feel it on their real leg, with a sudden torturous pain. But you can thank Hollywood for this complete fake news on the Voodoo Doll. It's just not the case for the famous Voodoo Doll. Voodoo is actually spelt voodoo, and is a real religion, and not a bloodthirsty cult full of witches casting black magic on their victims. Voodoo dolls date back to the 17th century and were used in healing practices and not for revenge. The voodoo religion in Hades and Africa would hang these effigies in trees in cemeteries to open a portal or communication route between the family of the deceased and the deceased. People who viewed the voodoo religious practice did not understand and misinterpreted what was going on, so their interpretation of it became painted as something evil, and this spread far and wide that these people were cursing other people that they just didn't like. A voodooist calls upon an Eva, which is an immortal spirit, and there is a lot of them, that helps serve humans to fix problems that distress other humans, such as sickness, financial loss, etc. And Evas can take possession of the voodooist so they can investigate the problem further. Once it looks into the problem, the Eva will decide on a treatment appropriate to that human with the problem. This would sometimes result in an effigy being made of that person, so that doll is then used as a tool to aid in helping the person, but an Eva mustn't be pissed off, as they can inflict illness and misfortune upon the voodooist in control. Things such as offering them the wrong food can be enough to offend them, but the voodooist that performs these rituals usually knows what they are doing. The Europeans had a poppet that was likened to a supposed real voodoo doll, and the European witches would use these in witchcraft, but these had no association with the voodoo dolls and the religion. They were completely separate. So all in all, to sum this up, voodoo dolls are all bullshit and are a made-up thing to create fear and fiction in Hollywood. These voodoo dolls can be purchased at gift shops and they are just heavily mass-produced for money. Just another thing that we all got sucked into. Now, there is so much information on this. Like I said at the beginning of this video, honestly, if you want to go and have a look at it all, by all means, go and research it, because it's insane how much information is on it, and that's just a very small little snippet of the history of the voodoo doll and the religion that goes along with it. So the illustration that I decided to do for the video today for this voodoo doll prompt was, as you saw at the beginning of the video, I did my own hand, and I used to do a lot of that. If you have been following me right from the beginning of my channel, you would know that I would actually draw my hands quite a bit in the illustrations with demons and all that type of stuff. So I decided to go back to my roots and draw my hand on there with a voodoo doll that's been pinned to it, and it's bleeding, and there's a lot of, you know, possession and creepiness going along with it, because it's like, you know, strapped to my hand, and the needles and the pins have gone through my hand to keep it in place. And yeah, that's basically all it is, just a drawing of a voodoo doll on my hand. But anyway, that is it from me. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Dislike it, I couldn't give two shits what you do, because any interaction you give me goes towards the algorithm for other people to find me. And hopefully you watch whatever is left of this video to see how the illustration turned out. And hopefully I see you guys in the next one. Bye.